Hey guys, it's Keith Grevenitz back with a Beat Sessions review for you. Today I'll be reviewing an artist outside of my general tastes, the Disney alum child star with the famous daddy, Miley Cyrus. Miley's 8th studio album came out this last week, and it's called Endless Summer Vacation. The 30-year-old put together a decent album, I have to say. But before I get into this one, I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button so we can grow this channel. And I don't know, maybe I can quit my job? Don't you want that for me? Don't you want to help me with that? Well, if you feel like you do, hit that subscribe button. Anyway, back to this album. Don't get mad at me, but something kind of always bothered me about her voice before. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because I heard her covering Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, and I just had a hard time with that. But I'm really digging her voice on this album. I also think her voice is really big and mature, and it's sometimes hard to imagine all that coming out of this little Disney girl. I could compare her to legendary blues singer Susan Tedeschi. If you like Miley's voice, you might want to check her out. She has a band with her husband, Derek Trucks. Derek played slide guitar with the Allman Brothers as young as 13 years old. Anyway, she sounds a lot like her, and they have that soul, that raspy soul that you might like. So, Endless Summer Vacation. Okay, it does a lot in 43 minutes. It's a versatile album that teeters back and forth between youthful and fun. And I mean, it is titled Endless Summer Vacation. But then there's some evidence of some maturity, too, which I like, and I think that's the direction that Miley might be going in. If you're on social media and find yourself in some meme reels, occasionally, you probably have heard the album's opener, Flowers. Miley sings, "I can buy myself flowers," in this song that tells us how independent she is. Well, she's worth $160 million, so she can buy herself the whole damn flower industry. This is a poppy number, definitely catchy AF. Because of those Instagram reels, I feel like I've known this one forever. It's fun and lighthearted. I feel like women really love it, judging by the prevalence on social media. So it was a decent track, though. It's well written. The second track, Jaded, is another catchy pop rock song. We have a tremolo guitar here that leads to a chorus that sings, "I'm sorry that you're jaded." Maybe this one is going out to Liam Hemsworth as well. It's a short track, but short and sweet. So far, if you're listening through, this is a great album for you girls that have gone through a breakup lately. So, the third track I think it's my favorite. It's called Rose-Colored Lenses. And I just dig the aesthetic here. Miley's voice sounds great, and it's very melodic. She sings in this melodic fashion, and I really like it. And it just hits me in the brain a little like Tame Impala song. You got a spacey sound, modern psychedelic, some tasteful effects on Miley's voice really go a long way. Okay, so 1,000 Miles is the fourth track, and it features Brandi Carlile. It starts off with a pleasant acoustic guitar sound. Maybe Miley is feeling her roots here. Poppy again with this one. We can hear Brandi Carlile coming in to harmonize with Miley during the chorus, starting about midway through the track. They sound really good together. We get a whimsical little harmonica break that I thought was kind of cool. Carlile really complements Miley's rugged voice very nicely, because Carlile is the opposite of that. She's very feminine, high voice. The fifth track is called You, and it's a country blues style track, and Miley sings about how she wants to do all things, but only if it's with you. She says that she has baggage, but you know that she's savage. This track is piano-backed and has a very classic sound. This is part of the album that's a little mature for her. Handstand is the next track, and it's a concept track. It starts one of those spoken tracks with Miley talking to us in a raspy voice to open. It has a very synthy sound that, once again, is going to make me think of Tame Impala here. This is a cool turn for her to take, in my opinion. It's a spacey track, and, I kind of dig those. The seventh track is called River, and it's a poppy stomper, and it has an electronic sounding beat, and Miley drops the sultry blues sound for a more housey type sound here. I can see this one being remixed and making its way to some EDM clubs or at some festivals. This one isn't my favorite, but it does its thing. It has its place. Violet Chemistry sounds like a track from her younger years. It pulls us to a poppier place with younger, less mature features in the song. It's okay. Miley has to remember her fan base. It has an interesting breakdown with Miley singing in a really punchy type of quick way. Miley uses her voice in a lot of different ways in this one, which is the coolest part of it in my opinion. There's a lot of versatility in there with Miley. Muddy Feet is the 9th track and features Sia on this one. Miley sings colloquially, "Get the fuck out of my house with that shit." Sia pairs with Miley here and harmonizing by being the more feminine voice by comparison to Miley's raspy and rugged sound again. I like it though. There's a good pairing there. Wildcard is the 10th track, and listening to this album makes me realize that Miley is a wild card. This album is all over the place in style and in genre. This track brings the volume down a little bit, but keeps an active beat and keeps that speed. It's paired with a chorus in which Miley bellows, "I'm a wild card." Yes, you are, Miss Cyrus. Island comes in with some tasteful light instrumentation and reverb sounds. This track does sound like an island track. I want a pina colada. Miley sings she can paint her toenails while soaking her feet in the sand, but I don't think you can do that, can you? Maybe someone can weigh in on that. The island sound doesn't really carry this one. It's not catchy or memorable. I'm going to call this one a filler track. Wonder Woman, the next track, opens slow with Miley and a piano, and it seems like Miley wants to end the album with a classic, mature sound. She shows off her tender side here and the pipes. She definitely can sing. I'm happy that this one doesn't go to that poppy place. Keep it down here sometimes, Miley. It's a classic ballad. I was happy to hear this classic sound. Now, Miley bookends this album with a demo for Flowers, and I wasn't sure why she would do this at first. But after giving you a listen, I understand why. It's stripped down and features just Miley singing with some electric keys. Call me old-fashioned, but this hits way better for me. It's less punchy, maybe a little less catchy without that beat, but the aesthetic here is killer. That part where Miley sings, "I can love you better," "I can love you better," sounds really cool here. This really showcases Miley's talent, not that it isn't present throughout the album, but take away everything else, and that's all you have. Miley's talent. She showed us this for a reason, I feel like. Maybe it's a preview for a future Miley with different considerations for style to be made. I can see it. I can imagine myself wanting to listen to her. I didn't dislike this album. It was pretty good, even though it's outside of my general genre palette. I guess I just really like to see Miley mature more musically as she is now in her 30s. She could be a rock star instead of a pop star. I can't help but feel this is what she wants. After all, she covers Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, not that monstrosity of plastic surgery Madonna. Well, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. I'm Keith Greveness with the Beat Sessions. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and tune in for more reviews. Don't forget, every Tuesday night, we do an hour-long live show. It's really fun with Mitch, MB, and I, and we'd love you to join us. We'll answer you during the show if you want to come in, chime in, or even talk some shit to us. But we hope to talk to you guys soon. And Miley, if you're listening, I doubt you are, but keep it rocking. Stick to that. We don't need to be a teeny bopper anymore. Let's move on. Let's mature. I could see it. I can feel that you're going that way. And I'm excited what the future holds for Miley Cyrus, if you'd believe it. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.